All right, all right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this impromptu first episode of the Touchdown Talk. I guess it's an unofficial episode. It's official. The season's starting. Welcome to the Touchdown Talk. I'm Chris,
I'm
and that's
Kevin.
Kevin, and that's Kevin. And normally we do have Mr. Pablo Martinez on with us, but he can't be on tonight. This was a very impromptu thing. We were kind of like just decided to come on tonight and kick things off. But so he's not able to be on live with us today, but he'll be back on the show regularly for those regular watchers and listeners of the Touchdown Talk. Pablo will be back with us. He'll probably be in on the chat.
Yeah.
So, by the way, yes, there is a chat going, so feel free to chat if you're watching over on Facebook or YouTube. The Touchdown Talk. This show has been going on for a couple of years now. We've been on hiatus since the end of football season last season, but we're going to be starting back up again. The show should be, I think, if we plan it correctly, should be airing regularly on Saturdays at 10 a.m. right here on YouTube and Facebook, and that is starting, I think, the 5th. Labor Day
That's
week?
the week before.
Or the week
fifth,
before.
the Saturday before the season starts.
So I think we're going to be starting the 5th, or we're going to start the week the season starts. I don't know. We have to iron that out, but it's coming soon. We'll be back on Saturdays at 10 a.m. That's the plan, at least. So Josh Parr is saying I want a chair like Kevin's.
I got two of them.
Oh, that's what that looks like. Okay, so we're using a new streaming software tonight. By the way, everybody. Not that anybody really cares. I'm the only one that actually cares about it, but I'm like learning how to use all these new controls here tonight. So be patient with us. But yeah, you guys can totally. Cora's dad, Dirt baby. Yeah, that's right. The leagues, the two leagues that we're in, the LOEMP League and the Dirt League, all representing. Those are the two fantasy leagues that we do. For those who care, Kevin beat me in the championship game in the LOMP League with his Black Magic
Championship.
Yeah, the Vaglio Bowl, and he beat me with that Black Magic voodoo stuff that goes on with him.
That will be my team name across the board this year.
Should be Black Magic. But I'm looking forward to another fun season. You know, for me, fantasy-wise, I'm just starting to get into the swing of like starting to pay attention a little bit more. I know our draft for LOEMP is coming up this Sunday, 1 o'clock. I'm going to be away on vacation. I'm going to literally be in the car driving back, so I'm going to be drafting in the car.
That's tough.
That's just the way it goes.
Tough look. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough, but that's just the way it goes. I'll be drafting in the number 11 spot. You'll be number 12.
I'll be drafting the 12 spot, yeah.
Yeah. So we go ahead, Kev.
Oh, well, we just wanted to pop on, do the show, do a little pre-draft special for everybody, a little bit of, team rankings, a little bit of stats for people, maybe help them make their decisions and see how they want to build out their draft strategy.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions as we go, drop them in the chat when it comes to fantasy football stuff. Maybe you already had your draft. Some people did draft already this weekend. There were drafts that happened. A little early in my mind, but I think, but I know drafts were happening. People did draft this past weekend. So, but yeah, let us know how you did in your draft, who you picked up as we go along, and if you're already thinking about making trades, yeah, LOEMP is as far as Imperial. Can I bring this chat up on the? Oh, I can, but then it's like up over your face. Like that's not.
Oh, do it like that. That's not bad.
Maybe I could. I could maybe do this.
Move it over.
Yeah, let me move it over. Let me see. Let's see if I can move.
Oh, that's good.
I can move it up here.
Because my white shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? I could put it up over here maybe. Oh, you know what? I'll do this.
Black shirt on would be good.
I'll put it up over here in the corner up here. How's that?
Yeah, I can see that good.
All right, we'll do that. We'll put it up over there. All right, there we go. All right. So let's do it. Let's get into it, guys. So, yeah, once again, if you got any questions along the way, let us know. Kevin, I have a question. How do you juggle 4,332 leagues? 4,322 leagues that you're in?
That's tough. It's dedication, bud. Dedication and planning.
There it is.
I love
dedication
drafting.
And planning. You do love drafting.
I've become, I don't know, it's just become something I'm I'm a stat geek, man. I love diving into it. It fuels me.
There it is. It fuels you. It's your
And then
fuel.
the more I consume, the more drafts I want to be in. It's messed up.
That's it. That's it. It is addictive. I'm not gonna lie. It is. Every year I go, why do I keep playing fantasy football?
Yeah,
And it's just I
there's
can't I
definitely
stay in it because
times like that.
it's definitely addictive. I do like it as much as I hate it. I like it for the first couple weeks until my team starts shitting the bed, and then I'm like, why am I doing this?
You find yourself. Everybody, I let most people have their teams, but then you find yourself being like, I don't even care that my fantasy players playing against the Giants. I want my fantasy player to do well.
Yeah, no, it's true. It makes watching Red Zone so much more enjoyable. I will say that
Oh yeah,
when you got
red
your
red, red,
fantasy
zo-
teams
red
going.
zone's key.
Yeah. So
NFL knows how
yes.
to cash in.
So Kevin's got pages of notes that he said he put together.
Yeah,
So let us know if this is going to help you in your draft. We are all drafting this weekend, and then the Dirt League drafts the following Tuesday, I believe. Right, the Tuesday
the
right
Tuesday
after
before
Labor
the
Day.
season starts.
Yeah, Tuesday before the season
That
starts. So
that I think that's a 7 or 8 o'clock draft. But
yeah,
yeah, that's I think I have two that night
yeah. Oh man,
simultaneously.
yeah. I'm only in these two leagues. I can't handle anymore. Although I
Yeah,
was going to see if they were going to do one at work, but no one wants to run it. No one wants to put something together. I'd thought about it, but I'm like, I don't want to be dealing with this.
that's fun. Tiffany wanted to get in on a draft. I thought about getting a league started up for beginners.
Oh yeah, that's actually a great idea. That's a good
Yeah,
idea. A beginner
that'd be
league, a
good.
beginner fantasy football league.
Yeah,
That's a pretty cool idea.
that'd be fun.
I'd be down with that. I think
For
that's a cool idea.
people
Yeah.
people to learn and get their feet wet.
Right. Exactly. People who want to play but like don't want to get don't want
Yeah,
to get all crazy like us.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to play with barbarians like us.
Yeah. Hey Tina, thanks for jumping
Brutal.
on.
All right,
All right, we got people
so
coming on. So cool. All right. All right. So let's
that's
let's
great.
dive in. Let's get into this draft breakdown.
Let's start off. So first, I put together a few things. We'll start off with what I like to start with when I'm kind of looking at building. When you're
Mhm.
drafting, some leagues are IDP, which for you that don't know is independent defensive players. But you're drafting offensive players, people who are putting up the stats, making the money, putting the show on for us. So I like to start by looking at the offensive lines of each team. Does that correlate to a better fantasy roster by
Mhm.
having teams that are on the best offensive lines? I mean, in my opinion, it does. You got players that are on those teams that if the quarterback's staying upright, your receivers are most likely going to produce more.
Right.
Your running backs are going to be able to get holes to run through. So it all correlates out to a better fantasy team.
Right.
So if you want, I start off with some offensive line ranking projections for this year.
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to start off like that, and
Yeah.
one of them is on top of the list is the Denver Broncos. They brought back every single offensive lineman from last year. Now that's a team where you look at it and you're like, they have so many different players.
Right.
Does it translate to a good fantasy team? You have three running backs that you feed there, so it's kind of hard. People are like, I really like R.J. Harvey or I like J.K. Dobbins, but you're like, who's going to get the ball? And it really, it kind of backfires on people sometimes when they're trying to make a running back decision with
Right.
teams that use these split backfields. It's tough.
So are they like doing yeah, but teams like the running back like last year with the Seahawks, it was like you had the running
Yeah,
back committee. It's like who the hell? Every time I go to
100%.
play K9, it's like
Yeah,
it was killing me. It was
and
absolutely killing me.
that's when fantasy you get into the intricacies of fantasy football. Like some coaches like to use dual backs. Some just like to use a bell cow that they're going to feed him 25 times a day. Like the Ravens are giving Derrick Henry the ball, and that is it. That's
Right.
happening. So regardless if he's gonna only have 60 yards in a game, he's gonna touch the ball 30 times,
Guaranteed.
100%. The Bills are a team with a dedicated, single back. They do like to sprinkle in some of their backups a little bit, but I mean,
Yeah.
um, Dalvin Cook, Cook is going to get most of the work. 80% of that workload, and those are the kind of the teams that you want to pick out. At least when you're looking for like RB1s to start your roster off with.
Yeah.
Teams that are going to put that up. Eagles have the second best offensive line. They've just been consistent. I know people look at Saquon Barkley's year last year is a bit down. That's just because he didn't have 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns, but
Right.
He still had a top 8 season, which is
Yeah. I mean, a guy like
something to sneeze at.
Saquon, which, if people are down on him, that's actually fine because that's a guy that'll
Yeah,
probably fall to you maybe late in the first round or fall to you in the second.
yeah, definitely. That's stuff you want to try to look for. A team that had a really bad offensive line is not a good team, but made some quiet moves this season is the Los Angeles Raiders. I mean, the Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry,
The Las Vegas Raiders. Vegas Raiders.
um, they picked up one of the best centers in the league from over there. He came from Baltimore, and they actually picked up the best offensive line coach that's been around in like the last decade. So was that look like for Genti?
You
I
still
think
have
that
Brock
correlates
Bowers
to
on that
something
team
big.
too.
He's a target hound. That dude's just gonna get fed the ball. They have nobody else to throw to. They're not a
Yeah,
very good team.
other than Brock Bowers, he's the only guy.
They're not going to
right?
win many games. They're going to be behind a lot, but
Yeah.
I know we had a scare yesterday. Genti hurt his ankle, and that definitely scared a lot of people off there. But then maybe his value drops a little bit. But just you want to look to handcuff him probably. He has a high ankle sprain possibly. He's not going to be back for like 4 weeks. Good chance at that. If it is a high ankle sprain, they ain't confirmed. But
Right.
looking at teams with best offensive lines, still the Bills again. I already mentioned them. The Buccaneers, but now again when you're saying correlating to fantasy Buccaneers, their running back situation there is a little iffy.
Mhm.
You got you got Rashad White who left there and went over to the Commanders. So
Yeah, no more Rashad White
you
there.
know, it's a little iffy there. They use two backs, but do you want to draft that backfield or do you want to get more into that passing game there?
Mhm.
Me, I'd rather be in the passing game there
Right.
instead of trying to pick out which back's going to be good which week. That's always a tough thing to go through.
Right. Right.
Uh,
No,
uh,
I mean,
uh,
so your draft strategy going in. I mean, not that you're going to give it all away, but I mean,
I know
you
that's what
normally.
makes this tough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I mean, I usually will go. I mean, I usually like to go like wide receivers first. Honestly, that's kind of
Yeah.
where I've been the last bunch of years. I've been drafting. I've been going wide receivers up front, unless I had a wide receiver as a keeper. This year I don't. This year I have Stafford as my keeper, so I
Yeah.
need to pick up. I'm probably going to be going in like 2 wide receivers, like in the first and
Which
second
look,
round, is what I'm looking for.
And in a league like ours, we start 3 wide receivers. So
Yeah.
is it a wrong strategy? No. If you're able to pick up 2 stud wide receivers, especially because you have something like the 11th pick where you could just hit that back to back, you're gonna wind up with 2 studs, 2 bona fide number ones. Probably could finish in the top 5 of the league if that's the way you go. Um, going back to it, it's like, do you like to start off, hammering that? Some people like a balanced approach, take 1-1. A lot of us nowadays playing super flex leagues, which are 2 quarterbacks. So some people are gonna go right off there and grab a QB. But in my eyes, there's really only one QB that you take in the first round, and that is it.
Yeah.
Me, I normally like to hammer running back first. I don't mind picking up 3 running backs and then grabbing receiver late.
Right.
That's kind of how I normally like to go about it. It's a position that goes down a lot, and wide receivers, there's a plethora of them. it's a passing, more so of a passing league. So you got to get wide receiver threes on teams that could put up at least wide receiver two numbers. Some weeks wide receiver one. So it's, everybody likes to go about it differently.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always in the business of whatever everybody else is picking. I'm going the opposite way. If there's a run on quarterbacks, then there's good receivers and running backs sitting there. So I'm not touching the quarterback run. I'll pick
Right.
that up a few rounds when everybody else needs to pick up their running backs and receivers.
Yeah. So let's get into it a little bit. So let's go down, break it down a little bit. So running backs, not necessarily the people you're targeting, but I mean, just this is overall for anybody in their draft. Because I mean, we've got not just our league, but we got other people tuning in here.
Course.
So, I mean, if you're drafting this weekend coming up, and like let's say you're looking at running backs in the first round, what back should you be? I mean, obviously it's the best available, right? So yeah, but who should you be targeting?
The first round running backs are very clear cut and dry. I mean, it's Jameer Gibbs, Bijan
Jameer
Robinson,
Gibbs. He's going number one.
Kept, McCaffrey. If you look,
it's so funny. CMC still
league,
first round. CMC still in the first round consideration. It's unreal.
I mean, he had a huge year last year.
He did.
And everybody worries about the injuries, of course, but I mean, he's the best producer on that team, so he's going to stay up there.
Yeah, Josh coming in. I want to see Rosie's thought on drafting A-Chan with the Dolphins O-line being garbage. I would still draft A-Chan.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'll give you not a hot take, but I'll give you this. A-Chan is still bona fide top 7 back. Probably even more like top 6. The guys, and the team's not good, but he catches a lot of balls, and that team's gonna be behind a lot.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, he might not be a straight up in between the tackles runner all the time, but the guy has a lot of value and he's a freak athlete. That's a team that HN, someone that I wouldn't mind if I had to take him at the 12 spot or on the turnaround, I would take him there.
Hell yeah! If he's sitting there,
I wouldn't think twice about it.
If he's there and I need yeah.
Yeah,
I'm scooping him.
People. There's a few Omarion Hampton's a rookie from last year that.
Yeah.
He didn't have the greatest year, but the guy's got a lot of talent, and he has
and he got
awesome
hurt.
opportunity in the Chargers, in this new Chargers offense with Mike McDaniel as the offensive coordinator there, the Dolphins ex-coach. That guy is creative, very, very creative, and using someone like Omarion Hampton is a really good look for him. So that's someone that you see going a lot in the top 15, and he's also going, and as far as running backs concerned, tops and the top 6 in some drafts I've been in and that I've done. Your top ones are pretty standard. It's Hampton, it's Barkley, it's A-Chan, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, McCaffrey, Bijan, Gibbs. It's Chase Brown too, someone who really
Chase Brown name's still coming up.
Up over there in Cincinnati. That's an offensive line that's absolutely terrible, but that team runs 100 plays a game. They have one of the quickest pace offenses in the game, so that's a lot. That equals out to a lot of opportunity for a player. The faster pace of an offense you run, the more opportunity your player is going to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as running backs goes, the top's really, really consistent. Ashton Genty getting hurt, it might drop him a little bit, but I mean that's someone who I'm huge on. I think the guy's a stud. He's gonna have a great year. The offensive line, a lot of people are down on, but I think it's gonna definitely be improved enough. And again, it's a game script. Yeah, he might not be a straight up always in between the tackles runner, but he's going to catch balls too, and that's what you want to look for, especially in a PPR league. Does this back catch balls, or do they bring someone else in on third down, to take that over? I did a few things on running back situations that are unclear or a bit of a split here.
Sure.
So in Washington, you got Bill Krosky Merritt.
Krosky Merritt, Bill,
and they brought in Rashad White over there.
Yeah.
Bill's probably the starter, but I think that's gonna look more like a 50-50 or 60-40 split there. And you don't want to invest early draft capital in something like that.
No,
That might be like a round 10 type pickup. You
yeah,
know, um, over in Pittsburgh, they brought in Rico Dowdle, who had some huge games last year.
dude, Rico
Right,
Dowell was the
right?
was one of the I got him at a trade from you last year, and I was
From
like,
me,
damn,
yeah.
man, I needed
I,
that, and he was.
I regretted that for a bit. He had like two. He had two 200-yard games rushing.
Yeah.
It was huge. Then he had like a 197-yard rushing game.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. Oh, it's wild.
but that's a situation where Warren's the starter, but at any week I feel like it could be Dowdle that takes over there, and that's a little scary, especially if you're
Yeah.
gonna invest draft capital on it. You're like, oh, you think you're coming out with an RB1 when really he's just splitting time. So that's something that could hurt your draft
Yeah.
when
Who's gonna vulture all those
when you're planning
touchdowns
out.
too?
Dowdle's a good player, and last year it was Kenneth Gainwell who just
Yep.
played a huge receiving role for them too. And now he's in Tampa Bay, so that's is he just got to pick up there, and Dowdle's got to step right into that Gainwell role and catch all the
Yeah.
balls, and he put up enough numbers just doing that
Right.
that it was suffice. Like you're able to use him as an actual starter, especially in like
Yeah.
a flex spot.
And Josh is saying Bill is hurt right now. Actually, he's out from practice this week and next week.
Yeah,
That may
it's
just be
not.
maintenance.
I read into it. It's not. I don't think there's anything serious though. They didn't see it as him, missing time like that. They don't mind shutting down these running backs for the rest of this. The rest of the
Yeah, preseason,
off
and then
preseason.
I mean, yeah, I mean, why? If the guy's ready to go, he's fine. Just let him rest it and be ready to go when the season starts.
I saw any rookie
Oh, yeah.
running backs you're excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Seahawks used the first round draft pick to pick up Jardarian Price,
Yep,
and
I have
he's
him
gonna
on my list.
I'll tell you that they last year, Seattle used two backs a lot, but that's because Clint Kubiak was their offensive coordinator, and that's what he liked to do. He
Yeah.
liked to use two backs all the time, but now he's gone, and Clint Kubiak is the head coach of the Raiders. So I think the head coach there, Mike McDonald,
Mike McDonald,
I think it is,
Yeah.
is the he likes to run outside zone run scheme, and Jardarian Price is going to fit right into that, just like Kenneth Walker would have if he stayed there. So it's not going to be, I don't think, where you see when Charbonnet, however long it takes to come back from this ACL injury, too. I don't think you're going to see him vulture as much as he did last year with Kenneth Walker. I think Jardarian Price will be, come out the gates pretty hot and as their number one RB. And that's still
Yeah.
a good team. They lost a lot of defensive players, but still, they're just a solid team. People don't get excited about them because they're just a little boring, and they just
because
move
the Super Bowl was
methodically.
boring.
Yeah, but they just do what they do well, and it's
Listen,
a
they
good
win
team to
games.
have.
They win games.
They have JSN. That's their bona fide number one receiver, and
Yeah,
he's gonna see 12 targets a game at
yeah.
least.
That's
so,
your keeper this year too, right? Isn't he
Yeah,
your keeper?
that's my
Yeah.
keeper. I got him in a trade from Josh. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
But it's there's not as this running back class, even receiver class, was not very deep. This draft class wasn't. I wouldn't call it extremely good at all by any means.
Yeah.
There's not a lot. There really is not a ton to get excited about here.
What do you think of Jonah Coleman?
Well, that's a guy who, we were talking about Denver before. They're gonna run a three back set.
Yeah.
Honestly, RJ Harvey, I don't think they look at him very well as an actual pure runner. They look at him as catching balls. He had his chance a little bit last year toward the end, and yeah, he ate up points, but that's because he was the only healthy back. And his yards per carry wasn't very good, so his efficiency is not great. They
Right.
like Dobbins as the runner, but Jonah Coleman, that kid's really, really good. And
Yeah.
I'm not surprised if you see him take over by week 6, week 7, something like that. Just because I think he could show out like that.
Yeah.
Where it could be a little scary for some of the others. RJ Harvey thinks he's coming in there as the man, but I don't see it happening that way at all. And Sean Payton he likes to rotate through players constantly,
Yeah, no, I mean he does. I
especially
mean the way he doesn't care. I mean
but
he's just like if you're playing good, you're playing. If you suck, you're out.
yeah, and that's exactly how he is. He doesn't care if you're a 1, a 2, or 3. He's going to use you, and if you could fit his scheme and play well, he's going to use you good. So I
Yeah.
think you're going to see like Dobbins will be the runner, and Jonah Coleman will be the runner. RJRV will be more of a pass catching back. And can he still produce like that? Yeah, definitely. As a flex spot, he can, especially in an offense that's going to be
Right.
one of the top 5 in the league probably. They have an awesome defense who's going to get them the ball back a
Oh
lot,
yeah.
a whole
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
So you
Denver's
have,
D is sick.
you have a team like that who your D is just constantly getting you the ball back, not giving up points, then you're going to get that. If you get some late leads, last year
Right.
they'd had a lot of come from behind, very high scoring games, which translated well for some of the players. But yeah, it's it for fantasy purposes, it works out well for us.
Right. Yeah,
You
and then and just moving over too with some other running back news. We got Travis Etienne basically taking over
Yeah.
RB1 over there in
Yeah.
in New Orleans. Alvin Kamara is still on the team, but not obviously.
hurt.
He's
He's going to be out for like 2 months.
So I
too.
mean, does that give? Because they also picked up Zamir White too, I believe.
Yeah, they
in a
did.
trade. Yeah, they trade
was
from
today, I think.
49ers. So that would put Travis Etienne and then Zamir White then as RB2 until Kamara
Yeah.
comes back. If he comes back, I mean, I'm sure he'll be back, but
No, he'll be back, and they like him a lot. They restructured his deal to keep him there. He's just a trusted player. Yeah, he's not going to put up the huge fantasy points like that, Kamara, but he's a solid back, and I think Etienne will do well there. I think he's going to get the same workload he did in Jacksonville, but it's not the same team. Jacksonville is a much better all-around team. But I'll tell you one thing: the Saints are hurting for talent. That's for sure. After their rookie receiver Jordan Tyson got
Right.
hurt, and he's going to be out for they think maybe 2 months possibly. Now that hurts a running back because you have Olave to go to, and their tight end who I really like, Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson, I think, is a really good sleeper tight end. I'll give you that. That's someone I would target as my starting tight end later in the draft, 100%. He could catch 8 touchdowns, which is fine. I don't need him to be the number 1 player on my team. I just need him to put up 10 points for the most part here and there.
Right.
Yeah. There's a few players. There's another rookie running back who I really like in Tennessee. Now Tennessee, their starter is going to be Tony Pollard, but honestly, Nick Singleton is someone who's a very good back that was taken later on in the draft, I think round 3. But he's someone that I don't doubt if he could take over later on in the season for them, because Tony Pollard's just Tony Pollard. He's going to put up 1,000 yards each season. He's going to average like 3 yards a carry, grind it out. He's nothing to get excited about, but he's just going to do the job well. But yeah, but that's another rookie that I'll tell you that I like is Nick Singleton. And if you have Christian McCaffrey, I would definitely back him up with Keon.
You gotta.
Keon Black's the way to go. That's going to be his direct backup, the rookie Keon Black.
Yeah, you can never take CMC without taking the handcuff. I mean, you have to.
Yeah. If when you look at your first round running backs, that's normally a good idea if you're investing that much draft capital on them to take their handcuff, because normally there's a clear-cut starter if he happens to go down.
Yeah.
Now, in our league, we reduced our bench spots. So a league like ours, where you have a shorter bench, it's harder to handcuff, because do you want to waste a bench spot on a handcuff? Then the second you give them up to work the waiver wire, that's when your back goes down.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I was just going to say, that means Tina can't have 3 tight ends. And I just always think, I'm going to love my tight ends.
She could definitely have 3 tight ends. but you're gonna give up a lot of skill position spots, like a deep wide receiver class.
Tina, did you keep a tight end for your keeper this year?
She didn't. She kept Trevor Lawrence.
Oh,
That was a good
Jar
keep.
Jar Binks.
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
A few things I went through. Like one of the things I was researching was what teams targeted their tight ends the most last year.
Hmm.
So I'll run through a quick little list that I
Okay.
put together of this. The Cardinals, and that makes a lot of sense. There, they have one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
The Browns actually had one of the most targeted for their tight ends, and Harold Fannon's there and going into his second year with not a lot of good talent on that team. We've got a lot of good pass catchers, and Harold Fannon is very, very good. So that's someone that I would definitely target, especially if you could slip a little further back in drafts. I typically don't like taking tight end too high, unless it would be like Brock Bowers I'm taking, but or
I mean,
Trent McBride.
that's kind of the only
But
exception there, but
still, I always probably wind up waiting until like round 10 or so to do that.
yeah,
Um,
I'm not taking a
but
tight end that early.
the Browns, the Raiders, those are all kind of obvious. The Ravens, were a very highly tight end target team. They lost one of their young stud tight ends in Isaiah Likely going over to the Giants. So
Yep.
is it just are they just got Pepper Old Man Andrews over there? So I'm not sure.
I mean, I
But
don't know
last year,
unless
they like to target the tight end a lot. They also have a new head coach there as well. Um, Kyle, then you got Kyle Pitts over there in Atlanta. Atlanta is the fifth most tight end targeting team, and as well as they should be. Kyle Pitts, that guy's a freak athlete. 6'4".
yeah.
He's a great pass catcher. They line him up on the outside too as a receiver. So that's another good way to go.
Did you have him last year?
I did.
Did you
I
have
got him
yeah.
in a trade via trade. Or no, I had him. Then I traded him to Dunn for Brock Bowers, and among other players.
Among other players.
Yeah, yeah, that's part of I guess my black magic.
Yeah, you're the black magic who's
Um, but all these teams up here that have the most tight end targets, it correlates to who their tight end is. Like the Chiefs, Kelsey's old, but he was the fifth best tight end in the league last year.
still effective. Still effective.
In a very down season. So
Yeah.
but if you gotta look at that, people are like, "Oh, he sucked." He's still the fifth best tight end in the league. So that either tells you that the position really sucks, or people are just putting too much emphasis on what their tight ends is supposed to do for them. Your tight end's not gonna put up wide receiver one numbers all the time.
Yeah, I think some people are still stuck in like a few years ago where it was like, tight ends were like,
Yeah,
they were
and
going, but I mean when he was in his prime, but like,
we have
it
very
just
good
isn't
tight
like
ends
that.
here. Like the Colts, picked up Tyler Warren. Last year was a very
Yeah.
good rookie tight end class with Fannin and Tyler Warren.
Hmm.
Brock Bowers, that was his second year in the league last year. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's the tight end position's come a long way, but it is definitely getting better. Um, it's just people gotta have realistic expectations. It's not your wide receiver one; it's a tight end. If
Yeah.
he puts up 7 touchdowns for you all year and 800 yards, that's a really good season.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
They're
that's
not
just
right.
that's just a little tight end ranking there.
Yeah.
Some honorable mentions there. I already said the Colts and the Chiefs. So that's like
Mhm.
your top 5: the Cards, Browns, Raiders, Ravens, Chiefs, Colts. Yeah. Um, and on the flip side, if you're looking to fill a tight end spot, it's some of these teams that target him a lot. You might
Mhm.
even look at their backup because they like to run two tight end sets. Or they'll
Right.
if you get even 5 touchdowns from one,
Yeah.
you should be happy.
What about Colston Loveland? What are you feeling about him?
Colston Loveland is very, very good. Another rookie from last year, from Chicago. Very good offensive line over there.
Right.
The team has some mouths to feed, but their receivers, who I think are very good and high up on my board, but they also get hurt. Odunze constantly has a foot problem, and then you have Luther Burden, who is going to be their wide receiver one, probably this year. But it's going to be him, and then their next one up is Colston Loveland. So you guys got to get a lot of targets.
Then you got the guy over in Washington, right?
Chig
Chig
Okonkwo.
Yeah, Chig Okonkwo.
Chig Okonkwo. Washington, that's something that could correlate to this year because Washington has not much talent on that team. Let's be real. Both of their starting wide receivers are over 30 years old. But I like Chig. Chig is I think, is a very talented tight end. He could run well after the catch. He got very good hands. I definitely have him on my top 10 list of tight ends.
Got it.
And someone that you could probably get late in rounds, especially in the 12-team league.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, that's a guy that could probably fall.
Yeah, 100%.
If he's there, I mean.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
you could do worse, that's for sure.
You want to go on some wide receivers?
Yeah, let's do some wide receivers. And once again, guys, if anybody has any questions, drop them in the chat. Happy to answer your fantasy football questions, especially with all the drafts coming up. Let us know, and let us know about your leagues too. Like, how'd you do last year? Were you a champ? I mean, the one champ, I'm sitting next to him here. This is the
champ.
LOMP. the champ. So yeah, let us know. Let us know about your leagues, how they're set up, whatever. Just want to chit chat. Right now, I think it's just everybody from our leagues on this chat right now, which is all good. But that's all good. So and by the way,
don't have plenty of talent.
Yeah. And just as a reminder, when the show does start back up again regularly, the touchdown talk, we'll be on Saturdays at 10 a.m. and hopefully Mr. Pablo Martinez will be back with us. And I know, Kevin, you'll be joining us too. So hopefully.
As much as I can.
Yeah, as much as you can. So that's the plan, guys. So tonight was just sort of like an impromptu, let's just get on and do this before, all the draft stuff goes on and at least get this out there. So, yeah, so let's do it. Let's get into some running backs. RBs. I mean, wide receivers. Sorry. Yeah, wide receiver. Move it into wide receivers.
Yeah, I was going to say you froze up.
Oh, I froze up. Yeah. Okay. Wide receivers.
You're good now. All right. Again, I like looking at teams that are running fast-paced offenses. So, you got teams like the Rams, the Rams, the Bengals, the Chargers are going to be a little bit more of a fast-paced offense this year. Last year, they definitely wanted to run the ball more, but with Mike McDaniels there, they're definitely going to want to move a little bit quicker. So targeting teams that are going to, be in a faster play, run more plays per game is what I like to look at. Some of the top teams at that are the Bears, the Dallas Cowboys, who, a lot of us in this group chat hate them, but they got a lot of talent there, and they move the ball quickly. They were second most plays ran per game. The Rams, I already said, Houston, and really Houston, that comes because their defense is ungodly, all world good. And again, like I was saying before with Denver, if your defense constantly get you the ball back, that's a type of offense you might want some pieces of. The Bills. The Bills do it. They like to grind the ball out more. The Bills definitely, but they have a brand new wide receiver one over there in DJ Moore. And Josh Allen finally has a wide receiver one again.
A legit,
it's not just Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, a legit wide receiver one, and he's pretty much like the only quarterback you're taking in round one. By the way, if you're drafting quarterback, that's the only QB you should be taking in the first round.
Yeah, I don't want to see any Jaden Daniels being taken in the first round, or do it. I'd be more than happy if you guys did that. Please take Jaden Daniels in the first round. Please make decisions like that. The Giants were actually one of the top 6 teams in plays ran per game, and now you got a much better offensive weaponry there, kind of. I mean, they're really fighting for wide receiver 2 position over there, but you're going to see a lot faster paced game over there with them. The Jaguars are another one where you have a lot of talent. You have 3 good wide receivers there, a good young tight end and Brenton Strange.
Yes.
But you have a new number 1 running back over there in Bishal Tootin.
Yes.
Is he going to get all the workload? I think so. It should be. They did bring in Chris Rodriguez from over there in Washington to back him up, but they paid him as a backup. So that should tell you a lot. That he's not there to take the starting role. He's there to just help out when he can. He's a bigger back, so they might try to use him as a goal line. Hopefully he doesn't play that Charbonnet vulture role.
Oh my God, yeah.
Especially if you're looking for a running back 1 in Bishal Tootin. So we'll see. So like I was saying, faster pace play game, faster pace play is what you want to look for in these receivers. You know what you have in the Bears, like I was just talking about. You have 2 good wide receivers there. Also, you know exactly what you have over there in Cincinnati. You got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. It's an awesome duo. Who hasn't seen their quarterback stay healthy though?
No, he's had two bad seasons in a row of getting hurt.
Can he actually stay healthy? And if he does, then you could be looking at a team that's passing for 5,000 yards in the
Cincinnati
season.
should have spent all their money on getting an offensive line to keep that guy from getting knocked around.
And know exactly what they didn't do is invest in the offensive line at all. They still have a bottom 5 offensive line.
Absolutely wild to me that they didn't do that, though. I mean, it's crazy.
If I were the receivers quarterback, I'd be like, come on, you guys got to help us out a little bit here.
I mean, you have everything you need to be successful except an offensive line. But, we just dealt with it with 10 years for the Giants, so.
Yeah, and Giants definitely revamped it up a bit. So, teams like the Bears, Cowboys, definitely you have 2 clear-cut wide receiver 2s that could be wide like you have 2 clear-cut 2 wide receivers that are studs that could be wide receiver 1s on every single team. And CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. Pickens is awesome.
This is breaking news.
Is that real?
I don't know. I'm going to confirm this. Hold on.
Because it wasn't that bad of an injury for him. I mean, he was only going to be out a few weeks.
I am confirming. Hold on.
Philly Mike OG. What did I say? I didn't get anything across on
nothing
my
came
feed
up
yet.
Here. Hold on, I'm looking up.
Is this fake news?
I could be fake news. Could
Somebody
be fake news.
Trying to sway the.
Hold on, I'm going to his feed. I don't see anything on Adam. I don't see anything on Adam Schefter's actual Twitter feed.
Oh, yeah. Don't. I wouldn't listen to that just yet. They said 2 minutes ago. Oh, we'll see if it pops up. I'll let you know.
Just posted on X 2 minutes ago.
We have some questions coming in.
Okay, I see something. Sorry. Yeah. So let's get to this question real quick.
Yeah, let's answer a question and then we'll go back to some.
Okay, so A-Chain, Kyron, Henry, Chase Brown, or Hampton, also neighbors are Olave. Thank you.
All right. I like the talent of neighbors a ton. Olave is an amazing receiver too, who has concussion problems. But for me, people would probably expect me to pick neighbors being a homer, but I'm actually Olave very slightly over neighbors.
Okay.
And then for her running back question, that's tough. Right away I kick Kyron out of there. He's in a committee with Blake Corum, which I think it's going to be a very good committee. But, if I'm picking at that looks like probably a 2nd round pick that they're looking at there, unless it's a keeper. My rank here, for me personally, goes Hampton, Chase Brown, Henry, A-Chan, Kyron.
There you go.
So, but if I had the choice to
Interesting.
pick right there, I'm probably picking Hampton.
Yeah, I think I would go Hampton out of. I go Hampton.
It's tough. I mean,
Hampton
honestly,
first. I go Hampton first and H, man.
Derrick Henry, you're gonna get all the touchdown froms.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: that you could kick Kyron out of there, in my opinion. Though that wouldn't even, that if it's a second round running back choice, that wouldn't even be on the radar.
I had
He was
Olave
more
at
like
my.
a fourth.
I had Olave on my team last year, man, and he crushed.
Olave
I
is
loved
a
him.
very good receiver.
Yeah.
And he's consistently one of the top receivers in the league, and he got a little bit better quarterback play last year with the rookie Tyler So. So I think they progress a little bit there, and right now he's the only show in town. It's just him, him and Jawan Johnson, I guess.
Yeah.
They have another rookie wide receiver who's not bad, but it's gonna be Olave getting everything. All right, you can't trust Philly fans.
What'd you say?
Just post it on
okay.
X.
Yeah, no,
if
it's not.
posted on X, I definitely don't believe it then.
No, I'm on X and it's not there. It's still
Yeah,
the same thing. 2 to 3 weeks out due to groin injury.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the latest.
And how about
that
this?
I
Let's
still
go in
have
right
here.
there. Let's go into some Jets, which we're not going to talk much about. But you have two good players there, and Wilson, the receiver Wilson, and then the running back Brees Hall, who I still think is one of the best running backs in the league, but just they haven't been able to utilize it yet.
He's on a crap team. I mean, it's
He's hurt, but they have a good offensive line who returned all their starters. But the team's just not well, and this is a situation where I like the players and I don't like the team. And Brees Hall is normally going like third, fourth round, end of the third round, beginning of fourth round, and I find it very hard to click that name. As much as I really do like Brees Hall, I think he's a great running back, has awesome receiving, but they didn't throw him the ball. They threw him the ball like 5 times last year before he was hurt. Somebody that you got to get the ball to in space. And,
but also look who they had at quarterback.
Unfortunate for them.
Look who they had at quarterback though last year. I mean, in Oreo. I mean, I think Geno. Honestly, I think Geno could really help them out this year. I mean, Raiders are a horrible team. He had a terrible offensive line. Like, I mean, look what he did do in Seattle. I mean, he did start in Seattle again. I mean, I think he could win games.
He had a very good season then. I think he could get the ball to the people he needs to. So, a lot of people are very down on Hall, but I'll tell you that's somebody that might drop to the 6th round. I 100% take him and be extremely
if he's
happy
sitting at 6, I'm taking. I mean, yeah,
but
I would.
I mean, even if he slips down to the 5th round, I'd be more than ecstatic about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a team, that's wide receiver, and you have one wide receiver there and Wilson, and then not a lot else. They drafted a rookie this year who people were a little bit. But I mean, there's no buzz really about him right now. He's having a little bit of growing pains, some drops in practices, not the best route running at the moment. So that's a wide receiver group that you're probably fading, staying away from.
Right.
As opposed to, like I was talking about before with Dallas. I mean, you got Lamb and Pickens, but they have a kid last year in Flournoy, who's a big-bodied wide receiver like CeeDee Lamb. He's very good. You'll see him in 3 wide receiver sets, but if one of them goes down, I can tell you this: Flournoy, I think, if one of them were hurt, even for like half the season, he would be in every week starter, 100%. Dak's gonna throw the ball like 40 times a game, so it would work out well. But,
what do you think about the trade? What do you think about the trade that happened today before we came on? New England trading Keyshawn Butte
over to
Houston.
I mean over to the Texans. Yeah,
went over to Texans. That's actually a really good. That's really good for the Texans, man.
Trade.
CJ Stroud getting a nice weapon there.
It's a good weapon. Booty could get open. He's got very good hands. He catches the ball very well. he what he had 8 touchdowns last year. His yardage wasn't high. I think he had like 600 yards on 8 touchdowns. But the guy could catch. He could get open downfield. And with all the injuries that Texans keep having at wide receiver, Tank Dell is finally coming back after being out for a year and a half with a blown out ACL. But he's still slowly working his way back. So when they just lost Jaden Higgins, who was poised for a really big year, I thought he was going to have a huge breakout year. It's a really good move for them, smart move, and I'm glad they did it early so he get acclimated to the team.
Yeah, I hear you. I see Ken's comment, and I was hoping the Giants could talk Houston into taking Slayton. Yeah,
well,
I mean,
they
I got a feeling
at
somebody's taking Slayton.
There was talks about them looking into Slayton. So, but I don't think that's all done. I think Slayton could definitely still find a home, maybe in New Orleans, who their rookie wide receiver stud's gonna be out for that 2 months, and they say could be longer. They don't know. So that could be a team that's looking for a veteran number 2, like Slayton.
Right.
Not a bona fide number 2, but he'll step into the number 2 spot there easily.
So Kev,
team.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say you got a team like the Rams. Again, fast-paced team, likes to spread that ball around. You have 2 wide receivers there, 2 studs, and Puka Nacua, who could be facing suspension. We're not sure. Nobody knows yet. But they keep
still up in the air.
And that'd be a huge loss. But then you got Devontae Adams there, who was a touchdown monster last year. He was a hawk for the end zone. But outside of that, they got some young tight ends, which they're going to use a lot. That's a team where it's just you got 2 wide receivers, you go with them, and that's it. Their third wide receivers aren't anything to sneeze at like that. So it's not great outside those 2, but they're a team that's going to throw the ball a lot.
So here's a name I've heard come up quite a bit. Jacoby Lane, Baltimore Ravens, wide receiver.
Yeah, definitely.
Name has come up quite a bit in a lot of talk.
As well as it should. He's gonna definitely win the number 2 wide receiver spot there. And a team that definitely had a very, very down year last year, and the second wide receiver spot on that team is never normally that great. They tried to give it to Rashad Bateman for years, and the guy just never took it over. But Lane's got really good talent, really, really good in the end zone too. Very good red zone target. Really good catcher, big guy. It's someone that's he'd be a good flex spot, flex receiver for your team. Somebody that you're gonna take still a little bit later of rounds, but the Ravens should be a much better team this year as long as Lamar Jackson should be healthy again. He just was hurt all season, and it reflected. The team did not do well.
Josh, I think you should take a kicker in the second round. I think not that one goes by how deep in the draft should I wait to pick up a kicker. Yeah, second round for sure.
I refuse to answer any kicker questions.
Take him in the second round, Josh.
Yeah, please. Actually, no, you should. You should.
Yeah,
do that.
You should do that. It's a really good idea.
He can't do it. He can't do it in the second round. That's his Puka Nacua keeper.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can't do
third round then. Third round.
Yeah. What about a Carnell Tate? Is that somebody that should be on everybody's list? Should he be on the list? Probably later rounds. I mean, if he's falling to you in a later round.
Carnell Tate was the second best wide receiver prospect coming out this year. Everybody has him hyped up as the best one, but it was definitely Jordan Tyson, who's now hurt. Carnell Tate finds himself on a team that it's a little rough. I mean, they got a new coaching staff there. They got Dable and Robert Saleh, head coach there now too.
Mm-hmm.
Dable's gonna be the assistant there. If they could get something more out of Ward. Ward was averaging like 150 yards passing a game last year. It wasn't very good, and he hasn't looked particularly good this offseason. But they're definitely trying to revamp it. They have they got Wandale Robinson there, who I really, really like.
I like Wandale Robinson.
A lot. Wandale, I think, could easily have 1,000-yard season this year. Um, I think that'd be a very, very easily accomplished thing for him to do, which would then in turn help Tate out. If he could take some of the pressure off of the rookie.
Yeah.
It's just I like him, Tate, but I just think that's someone I fade this year because I'm not very particularly in on many Titans.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I like
Yeah,
Tate
like
that
the offense isn't
PTSD
great.
from drafting Ridley.
And that was someone people thought he was just gonna get hammered with targets, and that offense just not very very good.
No, it was not good at all.
So why they have some players there that I could possibly like. It would have to be late round picks like Tony Pollard, like I said before. Probably gonna be 1,000-yard, 1,100-yard guy, 9 touchdowns, but someone that's not gonna have a very good efficient rushing average. It's probably got average like 3.5 yards a carry. It's not very good. It's not gonna catch a lot of balls. So it's a boring pick, but it's a secure pick.
Yeah. Let's see.
But yeah, that's definitely someone I fade.
Quick question here. Hello, guys. What do you think about my team?
JTK9 JSN.
Sure.
How the hell did you get JTK9 and JSN? 10-man team. That makes a little more sense.
Oh, 10 team redraft PPR.
10-team PPR redraft. That's a good team. It's a very good team.
I mean,
like his receivers are studs. He's pairing Drake May there with AJ Brown. Got a really good young tight end. I like Tet McMillan a lot. The kid
Tet.
And second year there. I mean, Carolina's not the best team, but I'll tell you they have a very good offensive line.
Yeah, but look what they started doing in the second half of the season.
Yeah, he gets a second year under the offense. Maybe Bryce Young gets a little bit better. I know people complain about his height a lot because he's only 5'9", but if he can make him a very valuable fantasy starter. And your team, Sir, what is it?
Sir, this looks like Sir Dinesh. Sir Dinesh.
I like that. It's a good team. It's a very good team.
I like it. It's solid. I mean, I would take that team. That's
Hell
good.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, K9.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. It's all great players there.
K9 finally gets a starting role all to himself there in Kansas City. It's a dangerous thing. I think
Josh equals the taco of our league, by the way. The taco
damn close.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so another wide receiver name I just want to throw at you real quick just to get your take on. People are looking at rookies, right? We got another few rookies coming in, and we were talking about. I mean, Miami's gonna be trash, but Caleb Douglas. I mean,
Caleb Douglas, all right. They have another rookie there.
You think you get some looks or what? Caleb Douglas.
I think he'll get some looks there just because they have nobody.
Got, right?
But there's another rookie there on that team that I like a lot more, and who's finally not injured, and his name's Chris Bell. And Chris Bell's a much better wide receiver in my eyes. He's going to get open a lot. The team's not good, but I think Malik Willis, with his running ability, going to be able to extend plays. Listen, I'm not going to say the team's going to win a lot of games, but I think they're going to be a little bit more exciting fantasy-wise than we might think they will be.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to go as Malik Willis, as long as he, understands that offense and can move the ball, that they're going to do pretty well. In terms of fantasy, not in terms of being a good football team.
Right. I mean, I think for anybody that had Jalen, go ahead.
But my excitement on that team, if I were to go receiver, it would be for Chris Bell.
All right, there you go on that. I mean, I was excited to see Jalen Waddle finally get onto a team that could actually get him the ball more too. Because this is a guy I wish the Giants were going to get last year. I thought for sure. Yeah. I was like bowling so hard for the Giants to make a trade and get Jalen Waddle on the team.
I was hoping they tried to get him this year. Jalen Waddle going to Denver. Jalen Waddle going to Denver is, I think, an absolute monster.
It's going to be insane.
I think that's gonna allow Bo Nix to throw the deep ball so much better now. Because Sutton's a good receiver, but he's a possession receiver. The guy's gonna catch 10 balls and have 80 yards a game and a touchdown. Jalen Waddle's gonna catch five, probably have a $122 and a touchdown.
Right.
You know, Bo Nix, people see a lot of flash there. He's not a very accurate thrower. He is not. I liked him for fantasy purposes. He runs around, but he's not an accurate thrower, which is a little bit better for Jalen Waddle because he likes to chuck that ball downfield. And Jalen Waddle's big guy. He gets separation, and I think that's going to bode well for him.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be great. I mean, he's a great deep threat. Yeah, kind of saying Waddle may destroy. I think so. I mean, he may completely tear it up.
You know, but when do you take him? Is that someone you reach for and take third round? I don't know. I think there's still the talent there.
I mean, knowing that we have a 3 receiver league, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I would
nice
make him part of my wide receiver core.
Yeah, you're wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's there, I may scoop him up if he's sitting there when when I'm looking for that second wide receiver.
But I think some teams have better 1, 2, 3 wide receivers than teams like the Raiders or Miami even have 1 or 2 wide receivers. It's tough.
Yeah.
Minnesota, is a team where their receivers really intrigue me. But what type of Kyler Murray are we going to see? Justin Jefferson last year was his first terrible year, and that's because they had the worst quarterback play in history.
Yeah. But I mean, it was absolutely brutal.
Do it? Can Kyler Murray just be good enough? Because they have 3 good wide receivers there, very good.
Right.
And Addis, you got Jordan Addison as your number 2 there. As you can. And then obviously you got Justin Jefferson there. And it's that's a team that has a lot of talent, a lot of players that you'd like in fantasy, but could be a little scary to think about their quarterback play.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about Mike Evans. Yeah, Mike Evans scares me, man. Obviously we know the guy always puts up 1,000 yards receiving, but Mike Evans is a very, very scary player to click on. I'll take him late in drafts, but early as in a wide receiver 1, even though he's supposed to be the wide receiver 1 in San Francisco. The guy just gets his hamstrings are the worst. He's just constantly hurt. But I will tell you, here's a rookie there in San Francisco that's very good, and he could take over wide receiver 1 spot there. Is Stribling, his name.
What's his name? Stribling?
Yeah, Stribling. And he definitely could take that wide receiver 1 spot, especially if Mike Evans is hurt all the time. The Deebo Samuel comes back back to San Francisco, which, he's going to be fine. And I think he would be a good wide receiver 3 on your team. Mm-hmm. But Stribling is, I think, right there with him and could possibly take over the wide receiver 1 spot there, especially with Mike Evans not staying healthy.
Dejon, is that how you say?
Yeah.
Dejon Stribling. Okay.
Yep.
Somebody to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Put him on, later on your round. I might not mind him as my flex or wide receiver 3.
If your question is, will Dallas miss the playoffs completely or get knocked out in a wild card game? I would say I will root for them to miss the playoffs completely.
I don't think they'll miss the playoffs though.
No, they probably won't.
They got too much talent. You got Javonte Williams there, who's again just going to be a steady Eddie running back. He had 14 touchdowns last year. Well, you'll probably see touchdown regression, yes, but still think he could put up 12 touchdowns easy. All right.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. No, we're not discussing McClutherness.
No, never. That's irrelevant.
All right, so
I'll give you 5 more minutes.
Yeah, we talked. All right, so real quick, we talked about running backs, we talked about tight ends, we went through running wide receivers pretty extensively. Just talk QBs for 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, I'll do a quick QB talk. And a league
Quick
like
QB
ours,
talk.
we're a super flex league. Um, a lot of people draft right by ADP, but I really don't look at ADP like that. I'm more of a tier guy. Everybody's gonna take their Josh Allen's. They're gonna take Jaden Daniels still. Dak Prescott's a very good good a
Yeah,
quarterback to have.
fantasy.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
fantasy
put
quarterback.
up the
Yeah,
touchdowns, put up the touchdowns. He's gonna throw 40 times a game. A little bit later of a of a of a quarterback to take. A lot of people are looking for the mobile quarterbacks, and the later
hmm
you go, you're normally not gonna have them anymore.
right.
But you got somebody like a Brock Purdy, who even though his receivers are hurt a lot, he's kind of just a consistent guy. He makes anybody on his team good enough to put up the numbers.
Yeah,
That team gets down to the red zone a lot. Between having a very good run game, so that's a guy that you can really count on down there. Um, you know, Jackson Dart, people are hit or miss on. The guy has a lot of athleticism. We'll see how his passing goes this year.
right.
He's gonna run. You're
Yeah,
gonna get the points with him running. But you know, I think where we really need to see it from him is in the progression in the throwing game this year. So that's tough with somebody that's going a little bit later in drafts that I see, even in some super flex, not late, but he's probably like the right around the middle of the pack quarterback off the board.
all
Um,
right.
you know, Situations I'm probably avoiding, even though I like the talent on the team, is Atlanta. Um,
Yes,
Tua Tagovailoa looks terrible,
I would
but
not draft Tua.
the good news is, yeah, I'm not saying it's good, but it might be more efficient than Tua. Who I really thought
Yeah,
this would be a good landing spot for him, especially with the talent on that team. But it just he has not shown it or proved it. So I mean, there's
yeah,
going to be some teams, and when you're in a two QB league like us, there's some teams that you really want to avoid. Where I'd rather start a fourth stud running back or receiver in that spot over some of these terrible quarterbacks. I wouldn't say quarterback play across the league is great. The bottom five of it is really bad, and
yeah.
it's definitely hard to have that second guy there. When maybe if you picked up four stud receivers early, you could get away with doing that in your super flex too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you.
Um,
I mean, you don't have to run a quarterback in that super flex spot.
Super flex dries up quick, and if there's a run, your stars could be Aaron Rodgers and Geno Smith.
And Geno
You
Smith,
know,
yeah, sitting
I
at the bottom of the barrel.
I, I would put Geno um, as my
I
second
would put Geno
quarterback
above.
in a
I would put
pinch.
him above Aaron
Maybe
Rodgers.
you know,
Yeah,
yeah. Aaron Rodgers has Michael Pittman went over there to the Steelers, and I think that's a really good pickup for them. So their passing game is definitely going to look better there. So Aaron Rodgers as my second, maybe I wouldn't mind it.
yeah,
But when everybody else is running on QB, I like to load up on positional players.
yep.
That's just my
We had
goal.
a quick question we had before we is they're
Uh,
talking about going back to Lamar, and we'll wrap it up
uh,
here. How confident are we to draft him as a top 5 QB this year? Talking about Lamar Jackson.
Lamar,
Yeah,
100% confident. I think the guy, he's healthy. He bounces back. He was an MVP of the league a few years ago, and last year I think was an anomaly. He was hurt, and it reflected. They didn't have a ton of talent around him. They definitely got better at receiver. Their run game, even though he's 32 years old, Derrick
yeah,
Henry is gonna still run over people. So it's still very confident to take him as a top five QB.
yep. All right. Well, that just about does it for us for tonight, guys.
Yeah,
I know you got to go. You got to go
I
be
gotta take
go
off.
dad duties here. So, all right, guys. Hey,
Yeah,
thanks for hanging
definitely.
out with us tonight. Like I said, we're going to be back regularly on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Not this Saturday, but the following I think the following Saturday we're going to start. We got to talk to Pablo and see. But we're going to be back, guys. So Touchdown Talk's back. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody have a good rest of the night. Thanks, Kev, for all this good work.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys soon. Good luck on your drafts this weekend. Cheers.
See you guys. Bye.